By 2035, more than 1 in 2 adults will be overweight or living with obesity. The heart of participation: what brings patients to trials? Numerous new targets for potential anti-obesity drug development have been recently identified. In addition to the weight loss that the approved drugs can facilitate, some new classes seem to be improving the quality of weight loss by targeting selective reduction in fat mass with preservation of lean body mass. Good morning, everyone. In this video, let's connect with an individual living with obesity and a patient advocate, as well as to gain meaningful insights into the patient perspective in obesity clinical trials. Today, we'll be discussing what motivates patients to participate in clinical trials. To begin, may I invite our patient advocate to introduce yourself and share your experience of living with obesity.
Hi, my name's Sarah LeBrock. I'm the founder and director of All About Obesity, and I'm also someone who lives with obesity. I've struggled with my weight since childhood, and through my teens and into adulthood, I tried everything from eating right and exercising, but nothing seemed to work long term. Despite all my efforts, I was often blamed, told it was a lifestyle situation. Few doctors truly saw what it was. They never recognized it as a chronic condition, and they saw it as a failure of willpower or self-discipline. When I learned about a clinical trial, it felt different because for the first time, someone was looking at me as an individual and they were wanting to help me. That's what's important to me around clinical trials and research, is that we're trying to understand individuals, we're trying to understand what works for different individuals, and we're trying to advance science, and we're trying to improve the future for people living with obesity. So this doesn't just feel like research, it feels like someone finally caring and actually moving the dial and trying to advance the future of obesity care.
What motivates a patient to join?
It's not just about being in a clinical trial, it's about actually improving the lives of people living with obesity. It's actually, much more of an opportunity to make a difference, I guess. And I think for me, the biggest thing is right now is that there are so many new molecules coming to market for obesity. So many opportunities for the body to be looked at in different ways and to see how we can manage the chronic condition of obesity. It's exciting for someone like me. And I think the other thing is right now getting access to the medications in the UK specifically is quite difficult. It's challenging. So actually an opportunity to try a medication that could help me and that I can get access to right now is a real positive for me.
What influences the motivation to participate in one study versus the other?
So when people are kind of giving up time and dedicating, their time into a trial, we need to make sure that they feel the value. So it's not, again, I think it's about making sure people see the bigger picture and that it's not about just taking part in this trial for you. It's about what that information that someone's getting about you and your experience in that trial and the difference that can make to the lives of many others. And I think for me, that would be a huge kind of positive, is that my time is potentially changing the lives of others. I think we need to think about how often people need to come into clinics, etc., and whether things can be done kind of remotely or whether people actually have to physically come in. But I think the right thing to do is to talk all of this through and be transparent from the beginning, because I think the bit that we miss sometimes is the why it's important. So if I understand that I need to come in 10, 12 times because of X, Y, and Z, that empowers me to be more involved because I understand why that's really important. So I think that's what we need to be really clear with people, is when they're engaging in the trial as to why this is really important and why they need to engage. No matter if you're an active ingredient or not, fundamentally you will be getting access to the other kind of surrounding things around the medication. So it might be that there's a wraparound care, for instance, or additional support that's been given. So you would be getting that regardless of whether you've got active ingredient or not. This is a positive step forward, and hopefully the engagement from the individual taking part in the trial will be just as good regardless, because the focus is around exploring, I suppose, the positives of this new molecule and hopefully driving it forward into becoming a molecule available to lots of people in the future.
What are the reasons to lose interest?
I think we need to think about, where assessments are, whether it's a hospital, whether it's a clinic, how far that journey is. And again, it's about getting that commitment and being clear and transparent from the beginning around what that commitment is going to look like from that individual and getting them to buy into that from the beginning. I think sometimes this can be frustrations, are we managing side effects properly? I think we need to be kind of really open to that we need to make sure we are being really open with people, supporting them very much from the beginning. And if they're not seeing results, so these are obesity medications, so people will be expecting weight loss. I think what we need to focus on there is not just about weight loss, it's about improving quality of life, it's about changing body shape and all of these other factors that can happen, and not just the number on the scale. And I know that can be hard, but again, it's about being open and transparent from the beginning, and making sure that we're acknowledging some of the non-scale victories as well as the scale victories. From the perspective of people engaging into obesity clinical trials, I think we need to move away from it just being around weight loss. I think we need to focus on overall improving someone's health. We need to obviously remove the stigma, so we need to ensure that anybody taking part in these trials and any of the people looking after people on the trials are doing it in a non-stigmatizing way, and that they're caring and empathetic and supportive of that patient in front of them. And I think it's about just changing the narrative around obesity and understanding that it's a chronic condition. So hopefully this just gives you a little bit of insight into why clinical trials are so important, why it's so important that we engage people and try and keep them on the trials and keep them empowered and focused as to why they're there and the difference that they're making.
At Fortrea, we unite science, clinical delivery expertise, and the patient perspective to make clinical trials efficient and patient-centric, driving better outcomes for our sponsors and bringing life-changing treatments to patients faster. Thank you for sharing your perspective with us today, Sarah.